This is Meltdown Live, presented by MyBookie.ag. Use code NEXTROUND at MyBookie.ag for double your initial deposit. You sign on to make a deposit, they double it with code NEXTROUND at MyBookie.ag. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere. MyBookie.ag.
Welcome in yet again. We are here broadcasting live with you from the Culver studio. I am your host here on the Meltdown Daily, 2 o'clock Central, 3 o'clock Eastern. Tim Melton, so thrilled to have you here with us. We have a jam-packed show yet again for your viewing and listening enjoyment. Joining me in the studio, Mr. Tyler Lionel Johns. Tyler, terrific Tuesday to you, my friend.
Yeah, I hope it gets better.
Well, you know,
Yeah, nothing you can do about
is your
technical
is
difficulties.
your life a comedy or a tragedy?
Both.
Okay, well,
Both.
all right, that's good to know. EG,
Hello.
how are you doing?
I'm good.
Excellent. I
Yes, yes,
always appreciate
yes.
you bringing the positivity and the radiance
Absolutely.
and whatever scarf you're rocking today. What is that?
Yeah, so I love a wrap. It's finally wrap
Oh, it's a
season, if you
wrap.
will. But it's a scarf. No, you're appropriate. It's kind of a blanket, honestly, a wearable blanket. I actually got this for the Iron Bolt on sale at Belk. I say Belk because I know it's Belk.
Incorrect.
Kind of like a Ross dress for a last moment.
Well, yeah, except yours is factually wrong and mine is factually correct. But other than that, yes, it is similar.
We'll
So,
agree to
what's the
disagree.
difference between a scarf, a wrap, and a shawl?
A scarf is typically skinnier and you can wear it like as an infinity scarf moment, wrap around thinner. And a wrap like this is the width is blanket like, and then a shawl typically has a opening for your head and it drapes on your shoulders.
Oh,
Yeah, the more you know.
EG cares about your fashion and mine.
I
She's
do.
always caring about fashion. So we appreciate her being here, passing that along. Tyler, I've got some good news for you.
yeah.
Something to cheer you up.
I'd like some good
You
news.
ready? One of your favorite movies of the year, if not your favorite movie of the year. What is your favorite movie of the year, by the way?
So, initially, it was Dune Part 2,
Right?
and I saw Sing Sing, and I was like, "Oh, I gotta put that over, Dune Part 2." That was, like, a perfect movie, and then but Dune Part 2 has stuck with me more, so I've moved that back up to number 1.
Okay. Well, your second favorite movie this year, Sing Sing, is reopening in theaters nationwide January 17th of 2025.
Ah, that last Oscar push.
That is correct. They are
Uh,
really going to give it their best to try to make this movie matter to the voters. Will that attempt be successful? Because the first time around, it approached with a lot of critical acclaim, but audiences didn't really flock to it. Coleman Domingo is going to be the one pushed the most for Best Actor at the Academy Awards.
saw he picked up, Best Actor at the Gotham
Oh,
Awards.
there we have it. Do you think this Sing Sing political push will get people to actually go witness this film? Will it be remembered more as a 2025 film, even more than a 2024 film?
It could. Um, it reminds me of American Fiction a little bit. Not the movies, but the rollout in a way. Because
Yeah.
I remember I didn't hear anything about American Fiction until that January, right before awards season, when AMC pushed it out to all the theaters to say, "Hey, these are the hits. We're replaying all of the Oscar movies. Go check it out." And I think that might have helped it out.
Yeah, it feels like American Fiction did have a lot of strong word of mouth from people who went to go see it. Sing Sing, I'm not sure many people even know what Sing Sing is.
Exactly.
I
Might
So
be
don't.
might be a good idea to re-release it along with the other Oscar contenders. So that way maybe people are in the mood of rewatching stuff and comparing them.
it's possible. I know you highly recommend it. I thought it was fine. I think it is a little overhyped in my professional opinion, but still a very solid movie. And I think a lot of people are going to relate to it. So Sing Sing opening in theaters nationwide, reopening, I should say, January 17th of 2025.
Any
Oh,
word on a Dune Part 2
not yet.
reopening?
Not yet. Don't have it yet. But I feel like it's going to happen. I feel pretty confident it's going to happen.
Need to see that in Prime again. It's an experience.
I don't know if you'll get those screens, but I would think in January, early February, you have the opportunity for that because there's going to be limited fare. So a Dune re-release could be a good thing. But still, that would be almost a year
Mhm.
apart from its initial release to its re-release. I saw a movie last night that's been getting some award buzz and traction that I think may be the worst movie I've seen this year.
Did you finally watch Amelia Perez?
I did. I started. I started it, and it's on Netflix, and it's got Zoe Saldana,
Mm-hmm.
and who else is in that?
Isn't Selena
Selena
Gomez?
Gomez. That is correct. Yes.
Is this where she speaks really bad Spanish?
I guess.
I've just seen the meme.
I guess.
I didn't know it was a meme.
This is what it's about. A Mexican lawyer is offered an unusual job to help a notorious cartel boss retire and transition into living as a woman,
What?
fulfilling a long-held desire.
Seriously?
Right. So it is very progressive. This film is extremely progressive. And I'm okay with watching a
Yeah.
movie that's extremely progressive. I'm there to sort of judge it on its own merits. Here's what I was not expecting, and I was not prepared for, and I didn't realize. This is a musical.
What?
It is a musical
I
in
wish you
Spanish.
could have captured my, like, I was going to take a sip of my Powerade and I, like,
Yeah, we were about to get a spit
slammed it
take from
down.
EG.
It's a musical in Spanish. I can't think of a movie that you would love less than this movie, Tyler.
I mean, yeah, you're probably right, and I don't have a problem with progressive movies either. I should say I did go to see. I saw the TV Glow, which is a sort of a allegory to the trans experience. So I don't have a problem with that being in a movie or being promoted, whatever. But
This one hits you over the
musical,
head. This one hits you over the head with its themes
dang,
to where you are being preached to during this, and it goes a little bit too far in my opinion, but the way it's presented, you either are going to think it's brilliant or you're going to think it's the biggest trash heap of the year, and I
yeah,
couldn't finish it. So it's one of the first films I couldn't finish, but that's the glory of streaming, right? You can just turn it off, and that's
So,
exactly what I did.
you say it's a musical.
Right.
Were it, like, bags of, like, cocaine flying in the background as, like, props and, like
I didn't see any bags of cocaine flying, but there's like a bunch of ensemble pieces where someone will be walking through the street.
it's like,
It's really
boom.
tough to be a public defender, and then it's like low pay, low wage, and it's like it's odd. It's odd. It's 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 not good. In my opinion. I think it's way overhyped. It's also like 2.5 hours. So I didn't make it through, but if you're interested in sort of a cartel Mrs. Doubtfire musical that has some really interesting pieces going on in it with a story that doesn't feel grounded in reality in almost any regard, then Amelia Perez may be the film for you on Netflix, but
yeah.
hard pass for me.
I'll pass unless you get the sudden change of heart to record a full fledged review on it.
I mean, I feel like we have to have an opinion on these movies,
You couldn't even get through it.
but I couldn't get through it. And it's also one of those movies you have to read to know what's going on because it's
Oh, it's
all in
all in
subtitles.
Spanish?
Yeah, most all of it is in Spanish.
Interesting.
Yeah, occasionally they'll do outbursts of song in English, but you have to read the movie. So
Okay.
it wasn't a movie that I should have probably started at 10 o'clock
A
on a Monday night.
musical I have to read? No, thank you.
It's a
I
musical
don't believe we're covering that one.
musical you have to read where the cartel boss, his main desire, the main thing he wants is to become a female. So it's an interesting dynamic, but that's where we're at with Amelia Perez there. All right. I want to go ahead and go from Amelia Perez to potentially talking about Pez, as we have a candy list
We do.
that EG has put together for us on the very first ever Meltdown Countdown.
I love it.
Here we are. I'm going to give you a topic, and you give me the 5 things that correlate.
Okay.
And your topic is I want you to give me your 5 favorite candies because everyone in the office knows
Yes.
you are a candy fiend.
Yeah,
You have a sweet tooth
I do.
that cannot be suppressed.
No.
And you take your candy very seriously to the point where people have even sent you candy before up here,
Yes.
which I,
Uh,
Or
I
she
wouldn't,
calls it lunch.
or she calls it, will you taste test this and see if it's laced with
yeah,
anything?
agreed.
That's normally the first thing.
Probably is
Um,
good practice for you.
yeah, I feel like I do have some merit for this list, if you will. I feel like I am very well versed in candy, and my instructions were my top 5 candies at the moment.
Correct. This can change.
Yes, for sure, and this is, dare I say, seasonal in a sense. So we're gonna start at number 5.
That makes sense. Number 5, where are we starting?
Candy cane Hershey Kisses.
I've never heard of this.
Okay. So it's white chocolate. I don't know how you feel about it.
I like white chocolate.
Okay. White chocolate, and it has little bits of peppermint, like crushed up candy cane in it. So it's like a nice, like smooth texture, but it has that little crunch of the peppermint. Also, it's red and white swirled, very festive, delicious.
Okay, I do think I know what this is
Yeah.
now that I'm thinking of it, because I was thinking of an actual candy cane shape, and it's
Nope.
not.
Nope. It's still the Hershey drop,
Right.
yet it's swirled
Well,
red and white.
see, now you're being a little bit more confusing because there are things called Hershey Drops.
Yeah,
It
do you mean the
is
Hershey
not
Kiss
Hershey
or
dri
the Hershey Drop?
Hershey Kiss, excuse me.
Sorry.
Hershey Kiss, no. Well, we can correct it.
Okay,
Hershey Kiss shaped, swirled with red and white.
got it.
It is it's really good.
I think I remember these now.
Yeah.
Yes.
And also, I mean, on that same vein, you can't go wrong. You brought them to poker, the red and green wrapped Hershey Kisses.
Jim Dunaway brought those to poker.
Oh,
I don't wanna hurt his feelings because they were not
Jim Dunaway brought those to poker.
correct.
Okay.
I just wanna make sure that that's clear that Jim was the giving one.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, number 4. Reese's peanut butter cup trees.
Mhm.
There is a difference.
Is there a difference between the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup trees and the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup pumpkins?
To me, I find myself I don't consume a lot of the pumpkins, but somehow around Christmas time, I eat the Reese trees.
Is that because the pumpkins scare you?
Maybe.
You're biased towards Christmas over
Yeah.
Halloween.
I think it might be because, they're fresh, you know?
Yeah.
Like, they're not sitting around like, for God knows how long, like a regular Reese's cup.
Okay. Well, I feel like Reese's cups, they come in all different
They
varieties and
do.
assortments, and you're either in on the Reese's or you're not. I found myself dabbling in the Reese's.
Mhm.
I will dabble because my wife and child don't really like Reese's, and so they're typically left over. So I will find myself dabbling in the Reese's, but I would probably reach for the pumpkin before the Christmas tree.
Interesting. I don't hate that play. I included it on this list because I feel like I only find myself eating them around Christmas time, and I feel like you only find yourself eating them around Halloween. So we'll take it.
That is correct.
All right, number 3, Nerds gummy clusters. Now, if you know me, you might think this is a little low.
I'm surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So you could say that I consumed probably too many Nerds gummy clusters over the course of the year. So they lost a little luster in the last few months. I actually keep them in my fridge because I like them cold. Fun fact. I am
Those sound like teeth breakers,
no.
which this
Yeah.
isn't even a segue to Alabama Dental Associates, the best dentists in town. It's not a segue to them, but it does sound like something that would hurt you physically
Uh-uh.
having cold nerd gummy
Clusters.
clusters.
No, see, the reason that I like a Nerd gummy cluster is the texture is, like, addicting, right? Like, it's crunchy, but it's chewy. I don't like jelly gummies. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking
I
about.
don't like the jelly-filled gummies. It's gross.
Oh,
I
yeah.
hate it. Vomit. Nerds gummy clusters in the blue specifically is my favorite. Now, I've not tried the Christmas edition. I try it this holiday season? Absolutely. Good balance of sweet and tart and good flavor. Good
Okay.
flavor.
All right. Before you move on your list, that's a huge upset that is not number one
Yes.
because you literally dressed like that for
Halloween.
correct, or as I like to call it, pumpkin season.
Oh.
What are people saying in the chat right now, Tyler? Give us a chat check in.
Oh, we got a lot of messages in the chat. Smitty agrees with you, EG, that they are inarguably the best Hershey's Kisses.
Yep.
Say Bear is making fun of Tim for saying Reese's instead of Reese's. Smuff says that all of the seasonal shapes are better than the circles. I agree. And he says it's because the chocolate to peanut butter ratio is improved.
Hmm.
And Samuel also says that RFK is throwing up watching this.
He is.
If
He
he
is.
goes after your candy,
I know, I've thought about that because, in Europe, the gummy selection is not my favorite.
Yeah,
Uh,
those nerds gummy clusters are like entirely red 40. So
yeah,
what
no,
are you
all
gonna
of
do,
what I love
EG?
is Red 40, and over there, the Haribo gummies, even though Haribo's a German brand, but they're not good. It was really disappointing.
Tyler, this is not being critical of you, okay?
Uh huh.
But you left out what was the most important chat of this whole bunch, which is Landmine Believer.
Oh, that one actually just popped in. I just saw it,
What
but
is
he
the
says that the beard is immaculate. And
Wow!
I've been telling him, I've been trying to get him to keep it, to grow it even longer. Just look like he's gonna drop some sage wisdom on us at any time. And he wants to shave it. He wants to get rid of it, trim it.
Why don't you capitalize on this? We live in the United States of America, get some gray spray paint, hair, something, and be Santa.
We've talked about this. I have thought about that as a side hustle.
Why not? You make a cool couple I mean, you make a lot of money.
Yeah, I just don't think I'm ready for that lifestyle yet. I
Oh,
don't think
here's
I'm
what you
ready.
do. You don't get a job as a mall Santa. You start your own mall Santa picture taking company and undercut them by like
Why don't
$5
you just
because they charge you like $40 for pictures over there.
I do feel like you guys are onto something here, but that I've got more time potentially down the line to go into the Santa business. And
you do.
right now, I'm not necessarily ready to do that. I'm traveling a lot, and I can't be like, look, I need weekends off.
Well, there you go. Sounds like you're ready for it already.
Right? I'm not traveling to the North Pole. I'm traveling around the Southeast, and I'm not ready to jump into those shoes quite yet,
Okay.
but maybe soon. So stay tuned. I may end up becoming a mall Santa sometime very soon. But the beard has sucked the life out of me. This thing is like having a chia pet on your face.
Oh, I hate that
It's
comparison.
awful. It's so bad. It's dry. It's dry. It feels dry.
Sounds like you need like some product, like some sprays, some creams.
A month ago, I was using the cream,
Oh, okay.
and it just, I don't know. I felt like it didn't moisturize properly throughout the course of the day, and it was just always wet
Ew.
after that.
Oh, I
I
got you.
know. I disgust myself, and I've
Did
told this story
did you talk
before.
to Ush about this?
I've
Is
talked
there
to Ush
like
about
the equivalent of like a sea that was a bad punch? Is of like a sea salt spray, but for your beard?
maybe, but what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna trim it. I think
I think that's smart.
because I have had everyone have an opinion on the beard, right? And I've tried to get rid of it a couple of times, and it's fallen through. And it just in the most miraculous of ways, I'll have an appointment on the books, and I'm very loyal to who I go to for my beard trims. And it's fallen through, and I finally have an appointment that I cannot miss coming up in the next few days. I don't even want to say when it is so I don't
No.
jinx it, but it's coming up within the next few days. And my wife is very adamant about trimming it to where it looks like a normal person beard rather than just getting rid of it. Normally
Just start
I
fresh.
get rid of it and I go down a couple of shadows. And instead, I'm going to actually try to form it into what looks to be masculine energy. So we will see. What you got for us, Tyler?
Saybear says that your haunted house experience is why you refuse to dress as Santa. Um, Samuel says that if you want to become Santa, you're gonna have to kill Santa.
Yeah.
That is how the Santa Claus presented it to us.
That is correct. It was a very morbid way of like on paper, it's very morbid, but Tim Allen, he's charming as hell, isn't he?
Oh yeah, he does a great job. And then Russell wants to know if you ever find food in there, like a late night snack.
So I've told this story, but I was talking with our boss, Reed Taylor, and it was a serious conversation. We're having a serious convo, as the kids say. And he stopped me and he's like, I hate to do this, but you have oatmeal cream pie in your beard.
Hmm.
And I reach for it and he's like, no, it's on the other side. I didn't even know where it was. I can't even feel birds nesting in here. And I reach for it and put it in my pocket for a little bit of, a little bit of snack later there. But it was so embarrassing. And that was like a month ago. So it's only gotten worse, and pretty soon it will be going away. I'm not going to try to
The
grow this
piece is
thing
even
out.
deeper in there now.
That is correct. So I worry about trying some of these candies on your list, EG,
Yeah,
because it could get stuck in the beard, and who knows, I'll be eating peppermint in March.
that's okay.
But I'm going to get this thing fixed, and I will keep you up to date on my beard progress.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so recapping, at number 5 on this meltdown countdown, you had,
Candy cane, Hershey Kisses.
at number 4, you had,
Reese's Trees.
at number 3, biggest upset of the century, the thing that you're known most for potentially when it comes to your eating habits.
Nerds Gummy Club. clusters.
That's got to be tough for you at the number 3 spot. We were talking about this pregame, me and Tyler. We had betting odds, and we said that was going to be the clear clubhouse
Yeah,
favorite.
I thought
No.
it was number 1, if not number 2 to those, sour Haribos
You
that have
guys
been taken down
are
lately.
missing an integral part of who I am at number 1, and it'll hit you once I get there.
I think I know what it is.
Don't say it yet.
I'm not going to. I
Okay.
think I already know what it is, though.
Number 2, Haribo sour
There it
gummy
is.
bears. I had them yesterday. I had them at poker.
I
I
can see your list, by the way.
oh, the font's really small.
Well, I'm just telling you, I got eyesight like a hawk.
So I love these, and they've kind of taken over for the Nerds gummy clusters in my con- consummation, consume
Consumption?
consumption habits. With that being said, it's also on theme because the green is the best flavor. Now,
That was a good gummy bear.
the green is historically what flavor to you?
Sour apple or lime.
Yeah, I would say sour apple, lime, occasionally watermelon.
Okay, the green in the sour Haribo gummies is strawberry.
No.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
You tried it. Was it
It's
strawberry?
strawberry. It's strawberry.
It didn't taste like strawberries to me. But
How
that could just be like my association, like color and flavor. Like I'm
what are you
expecting
willing
a sour apple.
what are you willing to put on this?
I'm looking for my beard right now to see if I have one left over from poker. I'm
Oh.
trying to see if I can taste one.
What are you willing to put on this that it's
I'm not
strawberry?
willing to put anything on it,
Okay,
EG.
well,
You're
it's
not going to
strawberry.
hustle me. You've already given me the answer.
It's strawberry. Now, the best flavor combo is a green and a red together. Red is most likely what flavor?
Cherry, strawberry,
Watermelon.
raspberry.
Raspberry. Yes. So the red is raspberry, the green is strawberry, the white is pineapple, and it is so good. So sticking on the holiday theme, Christmas theme, I like the red and the green together.
Okay. Well, can I throw out something
Yeah.
real quick?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever tried sour sketty?
Yes, I have. I do enjoy it.
It's better than your Haribo gummy
It's
bears.
not because I like the
Sour what?
chew.
It's called sour sketty.
It's from Haribo as well.
It is supposed like sour spaghetti, but it's just sketty.
I got that, and I was just picturing it. Like I've never seen this before.
Little tiny spaghetti strands.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like
So much better than the Haribo gummy
No.
bears.
that the sour sketty is fine. One of my best friends, actually, her name is Kylie. She likes that. I like the chew of the gummies.
Give us a chat check-in. I've got to bring a story to the table. Give me a chat check-in, Tyler. What's the chat saying?
So there's a lot of confusion on how green is strawberry.
You leave a lot on the table.
Let's see. One I'm not reading, and then Russell says red is probably lime.
Yeah, with that logic, I mean, it doesn't make any sense. But people are missing out on the sour gummies because they're not eating the green because they're going to assume they don't like it.
So I'm going to give you what is maybe the best Amazon customer review in the history of customer
I've seen
reviews.
this.
You've seen
Is
this?
it the sugar-free gummies?
It's a sugar-free
Oh
Haribo
yes,
gummy bear.
sugar-free.
I have seen that one.
Yes.
Okay? For those who have not seen it, brace yourself, okay?
It's so funny.
It's a 1-star review of the Haribo sugar-free gummies. Okay? Here we go. The title of the review is Just Don't Unless It's a Gift for Someone You Hate.
It happened to my dad, which makes it so much funnier.
Here's the review. This is from Christine Torok. Oh man, words cannot express what happened to me after eating these. The gummy bear cleanse. If you are someone that can tolerate the sugar substitute, enjoy. If you are like the dozens of people that tried my order, run in all caps. First of all, for taste, I would rate these a 5. So good, soft, true to taste fruit flavors like the sugar variety. I was a happy camper. But, or should I say, BUTT, not long after eating about 20 of these, all hell broke loose. I had a gastrointestinal experience like nothing I've ever imagined. Cramps, sweating, bloating beyond my worst nightmare. I've had food poisoning from some bad shellfish. And that was almost like a skip in the park compared to what was going on inside me. Then came the flatulence. Heavens to Murgatroyd. The sounds like trumpets calling the demons back to hell. The stench like 1,000 rotten corpses vomited. I couldn't stand to stay in one room for fear of succumbing to my own odors. Oh, wait, there's more. What came out of me felt like someone tried to funnel Niagara Falls through a coffee straw. I swear my sphincters were screaming. It felt like my delicate starfish was a gaping maw, projectile, vomiting a torrential flood of toxic waste. 100% liquid. Flammable liquid, napalm. It was actually a bit humorous for a nanosecond, as it was just beyond anything I could imagine possible. And it went on for hours. I felt violated when it was over, which I think may have been sometime in the early morning of the next day. There was stuff coming out of me that I ate at my wedding in 2005. I had 5 pounds of these innocent looking, delicious tasting hell bears, so I told a friend about what happened to me, thinking it had to be some type of sensitivity I had to the sugar substitute. And in spite of my warnings and graphic descriptions, she decided to take her chances and take them off my hands. Silly woman. All of the same for her, and a phone call from her while on the toilet, telling me she really wished she would have listened. I think she was crying. Her sister was skeptical and suspected that we were exaggerating. She took them to work since there was still 99% of a 5-pound bag left. She works for a construction company where there are builders, roofers, house painters, landscapers, lots of people who generally have limited access to toilets on a given day. I can't imagine where all those poor men and women pooped that day. I kept envisioning men on roofs crossing their legs and trying to decide if they can make it down the ladder or if they should just jump. If you order these, best of luck to you, and please don't post a video review during the aftershocks. There's more, but I'm going to leave it at that. It's maybe the best review ever written for any sort of item.
It is so good, and I remember that one around that was a couple years ago now, and if you're having a bad day, just take a moment and scroll through the Amazon reviews because there's so many like that.
Yeah.
So good.
So there we have it. That is what made number 2.
Not sugar-free, though.
Get it?
That
Number
was
2
good.
on your list. Let's go to number 1.
Do you guys have any guesses?
I think it's a Snickers. I think you've been on a
Lionel?
Snickers kick.
You have been on a Snickers kick. Shoot.
It's a Snickers.
Well,
No.
Very dramatic reveal there.
Um, so I have loved Snickers when I went to college, I got the Sam's Club, concession stand box of them, and I would keep them in this little cubby, underneath my bed. And eh, I had 2 Snickers every day that semester.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, I always love them. I keep them just around in drawers in my car. There's 2 right now, actually. Um,
Do
the
they do well in the car? Like even in the summer you do this?
no, not in the summer, but, just in case I need a little pick me up.
Okay.
And
something to take the edge off.
they're a complete snack, okay? And there's protein, there's carb, and there's sugar.
But you use it, and correct me if I'm wrong, as a meal replacement sometimes.
Sometimes, yes.
I can't do that. I'll collapse and die.
Yeah, I don't like to do that, but, if I have to, a Snickers.
Okay.
A Snickers and a Coke can alleviate most ailments in life.
That has been the motto that your family has passed
Yeah.
down from generation to generation.
Sunlight, too.
Sunlight as
Really
well.
yeah,
with
really,
vitamin D.
it's go sit in the sun and drink a Coke. That's what my mom always said. I've introduced to Snickers. I'm notorious for being hangry in my family. So Snickers were a way to you're not you when you're hungry.
That ad campaign must have really affected you because
Yeah.
you're like, oh, this is my life.
Yeah.
This is it projected
Yeah.
on screen. Okay, so there we go. There's your 5 sweet treats that you
Yeah.
like the most right now on this first ever Meltdown Countdown. And we are thrilled that EG was able to sort of break the barrier here for the rest of us because
Yeah.
There may be days where it's Tyler, there may be days where it's me, but we're gonna have some meltdown countdowns in the future here on the show.
I'm thrilled. I think that was a great time, and I really appreciate you guys hearing out each of my selections. And maybe we can revisit this at a later date as well.
Absolutely. If you're like EG and you've had just way too much sugar and it's rotting your teeth, like EG, you
What?
need to.
I would use a water flosser.
Oh, I didn't say anything about your flossing. I just your eating habits. You have a lot of
But
sugar
my
going
teeth
in.
aren't rotting.
Oh, okay. Well,
Because you know what? I go to Alabama Dental. Well, I don't go yet, but I support them.
there we go. Alabama Dental. You're making this so much better, EG, and I appreciate
You're
that
so
very
welcome.
much. Let's talk a little bit about Dr. Jeff, Dr. Brian, and Dr. Nolan. They look forward to seeing EG over at Alabama Dental Associates. They're going to be saying, EG, have you been eating a bunch of candy here lately? And you're going to say, I got 2 Snickers in my car right now that I'm going to go eat as soon as you're done with your activity as a dentist.
Yeah.
And you'll be proud of it, EG, but they'll be proud to see you there as they provide all sorts of services when it comes to staying on top of your dental health, whether you have a nagging toothache or you need to get on top of those regular cleanings, they're there for you. Go ahead and try Alabama Dental Associates for yourself. They're accepting new patients now and can help you feel at ease about all of your upcoming dental procedures. For more information or to make an appointment, call them 205 956 8977 or visit alabamadental.com where they look forward to seeing you. All right, we've got to get to what is our big main topic of the day.
Which is?
It's terrifying. It's this Snow White trailer that
Ugh.
has officially dropped online. Now, if you were one of the lucky ones that went to go see Wicked or Moana, you probably saw the Snow White trailer play in front of those pictures at the cinema this past holiday week. Well, they've officially dropped the trailer online. Rachel Zegler is Snow White. Gal Gadot is the evil queen in Disney's live action remake. It opens up in theaters March 21st, and it looks, in my professional opinion, now this is where I get into opinion territory,
Okay.
really, really horrific. It looks bad to me.
See, all right. Here's where I disagree. It looks exactly as good as like the past 5 Disney live action remakes. It's the same
Hmm.
level.
Hmm.
I don't see this and go, oh, well, this one they really messed up.
Did you see Cinderella?
Uh, I no.
Well, to be fair to Tyler, it wouldn't have been within the last 5 for Cinderella, but Cinderella is quite good, I think. I
Yeah.
think they started off on a real high note.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things that they've done visually that have not gelled well in these, but this is the worst. There's no comparison, I don't think,
It-
to anything else. The CGI
Ew.
dwarves, who are being referred to now as magical creatures by Disney, I think that they want to change the stigma there. Peter
Snow
Dinklage,
White and the 7 Companions.
correct. Peter Dinklage did a hot take sort of podcast interview about this, and it was like, look, it's really progressive that you have Rachel Zegler in the role of Snow White, but it's really backwards that you still have 7 dwarfs sharing, this small space together and setting us back as a community. And so Disney went into panic mode with this. It didn't help that Rachel Zegler also came out and said, I don't need no man to save me. And that caused a lot of people a lot of distress with, well, I mean, why are you playing Snow White here in the first place? And then you have Gal Gadot, who sort of stayed above the fray when it comes to being canceled in a lot of different ways, other than that horrible music video that she was sort of behind when the pandemic hit. Imagine, you remember that?
So she was the,
Yeah.
like ringleader behind
She was
that.
in it, and I think she was helping orchestrate it all. Yes, it was tonally off. Where all these celebrities are
Oh,
locking themselves away in their mansion during a time where people are losing everything and everyone. But once again, she's sort of a one note performer, and she's the best part of the trailer, maybe. And that's not saying a lot for the future of this movie project. Now, is there a chance it's just a bad trailer and the movie's going to blow me away?
No.
always a chance.
There's always a chance. But this movie is promoting itself right now as these are the ingredients you're going to get in this Snow White fare. And I don't like any of them.
It it is so bad. It's so bad. The cute little mystical little baby animals, I do like that. But I don't like that enough to go see the movie.
Yeah. And even they are popping up like, oh man,
Yeah, like this is so fake.
well, they're fake, but they're popping up like, oh man, I wish I hadn't been created to be in this world almost. They look like they have regret deep in their eyes.
Sad.
They do look sad. In the trailer, we see Snow White quarreling and making merry with her 7 iconic companions, all of whom are portrayed with CGI. Yeah, you think? Like, who sees that and goes, yeah, those look like real individuals?
They are the roughest looking characters, creatures that have been made entirely with CGI I've ever seen.
Agreed.
They make Tom Hanks in the Polar Express look downright pleasant.
Scooby Doo looks better than this.
I'll defend the CGI Scooby Doo every day of the
Yeah,
week.
me too. I thought that dog was real for far too long.
Me too, EG.
E.G. and Tyler on almost every issue, polar opposites. On Scooby Doo, bro handshake. I really am terrified by the Snow White trailer, and I worry it's going to be my new Speak No Evil sort of trailer experience. That when I see it on screen, I'm
Gonna make you
going to
mad.
start yelling no at the screen. And the CGI dwarfs are really horrendous to look at, in my opinion. If that's the best they could do, I feel like they should have tried to do a lot better. This makes that live action Pinocchio remake with Tom Hanks
Mm-hmm.
look like just a Christopher Nolan production compared to what I'm seeing here in this trailer. It's really bad. And I'll just continue to sell stock on this until it comes out and we'll see how it does at the box office.
I also feel like I was a Disney princess fan growing up, like many little girls. Snow White was not my front runner by any means, but I feel like that story is so, wildly told, it's known, what have you, and it doesn't feel like it's gonna be that story based on what I saw in that trailer. I'm not seeing a lot of parallels, truthfully.
Maybe, maybe not. I don't know how it's going to line up with the other tellings of this classical story, but I can tell you right now that I'm visually horrified by what I'm seeing for
Yeah.
sure. So we'll see if the outrage machine ends up chewing this up and spitting it out. But it's not a great start here for Snow White
No,
in almost any facet.
no, it's not. I don't know why Dinklage had to pull the step ladder up behind him.
Yeah. Okay.
He did. He did. He made his bones his entire career
Yeah.
off of being, the imp in Game of Thrones and was beloved, became that guy for years, and then said, "Up and coming actors, you guys go play at a theme park or something. You're not cut out for the movie business."
Yeah, he's not happy with this classical story being told with real live action performers, so that's why Disney said, "You know what? We're moving forward with it, but we're gonna end up going with CGI characters in those roles." And I just think it's a bad move there all the way around. All right, let's talk a little bit about the fantastical movie that is dominating the box office, Wicked, doing rather well. And you may remember we did a story about the Mattel
Oh, yes. What's the update on this?
Wicked dolls. Well, much like the Tyson and Paul fight, there's now a class action lawsuit that has been filed over the packaging for the Mattel dolls with Wicked. Wicked Mattel dolls ended up causing a lawsuit here for mistakenly printing the URL for a pornographic site on the packaging for a special edition of the dolls. According to court documents, a South Carolina resident is launching a class action lawsuit after purchasing the toy for her young daughter who visited the website that had nothing to do with the Wicked doll. And I would guess that there's some lawyer that feels very confident that they're going to be able to have a case here, and we'll see if it has any legs or traction. I think it's going to be very difficult, though, given that it does kind of fall on the parent to make sure that the kid's not off surfing the web and looking at all of these images and content.
What are the damages? Because you have to have damages to sue somebody. They got the.
Emotional distress, Tyler.
Mhm.
That's typically where it goes. Emotional distress.
Do we really think that that's gonna go for this?
I'm just saying that's the argument they're going to make. So,
My child that knows how to read, and also surf the internet, just grabbed one of these dolls, went onto the website, and was horribly scarred. That's the
welcome
argument.
welcome to the American legal system. And this is the way it works. And yes, there were going to be suits like this and the Netflix thing. I kind of put them in the same category. because they're looking for of the moment national headlines that they can maybe make some cheddar off of.
This one kinda no, I'm gonna disagree with you on that one. I feel like that this one has some more legs to it than the Mike Tyson, Jake Paul fight.
You think so?
I do. I think that when you involve children and you involve things marketed towards children and there's a blatant oversight like this, I feel like you may be able to get a few steps further along than disgruntled that you didn't get the fight that you thought you paid for.
Well, I would argue that the Mike Tyson case has more legs just
Interesting.
because you're paying, for the stream. And then if Netflix can't deliver you that stream, can't deliver you what you paid for, then I can see an argument. But you got a misprinted doll. That's not really the same thing, in
But
my
it wasn't a
opinion.
misprint. That was intentional.
Intentional by who?
That's what I wanna know. I mean, that was an someone made that choice, whether they knew it was that website
Right.
or not. That was an intentional choice that was printed.
But that would have to be proven,
Yeah.
right? And there's no like clear proof that it was intentional.
No.
Now, if it is proven it was intentional, I think it gives this claim a whole lot
Yes,
more legs,
for
right?
sure. But again, I will say I don't think it's gonna get very far, but I would differentiate the 2.
Okay. Let's go to Squid Game because it's drawing a lot of eyeballs for sure. Squid Game season 1 has earned 330 million viewers and more than 2.8 billion hours viewed since it released in September of 2021. The show also saw a 60% spike in viewership following the release of the season 2 teaser that came out on October 31st. Season 2 of Squid Game premieres on Netflix December 26th, the day after Christmas. There's going to be a lot of people binging Squid Game season 2 for sure. Tyler, this was a huge hit globally, huge hit here in the US. There's so many different marketing tie-ins, so many different pop culture merchandise tie-ins, people really embracing Squid Game. Did you find yourself to be caught up in all of the Squid Game hype of season 1 that seemed to catch more and more fire as the years went on?
No, I actually still haven't seen Squid Game season 1. I've only seen the Mr. Beast Squid Game video. Most expensive YouTube video ever. Anybody wants to check that out.
Now they're basically launching a whole show off of that idea,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, Beast Games on Amazon.
Call of Duty Black Ops 6 will feature a
Mhm.
crossover event with Squid Game as well, building excitement for both brands. The collaboration likely aims to promote the second season of Squid Game, with the crossover coming ahead of Black Ops 6's Season 1 Reloaded update, adding new content like multiplayer maps and a zombies experience. Squid Game, incredibly violent and incredibly popular, with so many different demographics and so many different members of the audience that have those Netflix subscriptions that are just absolutely eating it up, as Squid Game has broken through to the mainstream over the course of the past couple of years, and season 2 is probably going to be the most viewed thing in television technically for 2024.
Yeah, probably. I'm excited to see. I think that the Call of Duty tie-in is such a good tie-in with how popular the Warzone game mode has been, with all of the different operators and skins and just aesthetic stuff you can buy. So I assume there's going to be a Squid Game mini game like a red light green light within Warzone, or some kind of finishing move based on Squid Game.
I don't doubt that one bit. It is a very popular IP, and the more it's crossed over, I think the more appeal it'll have for multiple brands for sure. Have you ever had squid, EG? Ever
Yeah,
tasted squid? You have?
yeah,
Yeah.
Gosh, I didn't know that.
calamari.
Okay. Big fan? Take it or
Yeah,
leave it?
fried calamari is pretty good.
Fried calamari. Tyler, it sounds like you perked up. You reminds me of the scene from Old Boy all of a sudden going in my head, like you had eaten an entire octopi.
That's too much. That's too much.
Fan
Um,
of squid?
I like the taste, but I'm allergic, so
Oh,
I don't eat it.
Oh, you
are
probably
you
figured that out the hard way, didn't you?
Yeah,
are
yeah.
you allergic to shellfish? Do you?
No, just squid.
Hmm,
I'll take down oysters, crab, scrimps. Doesn't
Squid.
matter.
Wow.
wow.
Okay. Well, I
Wait, what was that last thing?
Scrimps. You don't like scrimps?
No,
Fried
I
scrimps?
like shrimp.
see this is where the polar opposites come back into play. It went from like Scooby Doo, and now we're back here. Let's talk about Family Guy real quick. It's returning to Adult Swim. The long running animated series will make its return to the late night programming block in 2025, kicking off with a 3-day marathon starting on January 1st. In a time of streaming everything, does an announcement like this really do anything for anybody?
Absolutely not. When I watch Family Guy, it's just the recorded episodes on YouTube TV,
Yeah.
or when I had Hulu, that's how I would keep up with it. But
I,
it's just
maybe there'll be people nostalgic around the new year and they want to tune in to Adult Swim and watch the Family Guy marathon and feel like, a kid sitting on the couch again. But Adult Swim, it's just because the mediums and how much we absorb things now on demand, it does feel like it's not as big of a story as maybe it would have been 15 years ago.
yeah, I agree. Adult Swim though, they do kill at the marathon game. Whether it's setting up like Family Guy and then immediately going into like Robot Chicken and then the Toonami Hour late at night, or just a 5 hour long Family Guy marathon. They
Yep.
do a great job, but
We're going to get 3 days of it to start 2025. So there we
yeah.
go. Tyler, we'll know where to find you.
hmm
Smile 2 available to stream exclusively on Paramount Plus starting today, December 3rd, after earning 137 million at the worldwide box office this fall. I've still not seen Smile 2. I want to see Smile 2.
Well, to be fair, AMC is making it difficult for you to do so because they either have one showing every day at like the worst theater, or you just can't find it.
Anything with a 2 in the title has been tough for me. Smile 2, Juror number 2, Y2K, all very difficult for me. So anything with a 2 in the title has been a tough showtime for me to nab, and it doesn't make any sense of why, because I would gladly go to the movies right now if I could see one of those movies at this time, and I cannot.
That made me think of the tornado part.
The Tornado Part 2, how much trouble did you have getting into that one?
That one was fine because it didn't have a 2 in the title because EG just made stuff up. So Smile 2 is streaming on Paramount Plus. The one, maybe no, one of the two streaming services that I don't have. So
I don't either.
gotta eventually just I'm gonna go to our Redbox and get Smile 2 at some point.
So I've actually got a good story about that. Redbox, their payment processing company, is going out of business.
Uh-huh.
So that means people have just been going to Redbox and just
Stealing.
swiping their credit card and being like, I can get as many movies as I want because there's no company to actually collect the payment anymore. So go to a Redbox
No,
and get
don't
Smile 2.
encourage lawlessness
It's
here.
not lawlessness. It's you're renting that movie,
Right.
and the people responsible for collecting the money just they don't exist anymore. They're not coming to collect.
Well, what happens, Tyler, when I get a $534 charge for Smile 2 that I never return 2 years from now? Do I call you up and be like, hey, your advice really didn't work out for me?
Dispute it.
Okay.
Put it on the credit card.
Class action lawsuit?
Yeah,
Okay.
class action. Yeah, a
Ugh.
lot of people are going nutty with the prepaid gift cards and credit cards and just emptying out red boxes because
What are they gonna
at some point the company will come and collect them or not because a lot of them just look abandoned.
what are you gonna do with all those DVDs? Like,
Watch them,
I mean, okay.
collect them,
Yeah.
Collect them.
keep
Oh
them from a
Lord.
landfill.
I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, final topic here. I don't know if you know who Judy Greer is.
No, let me
E.g.,
look her up.
no, you don't have to. I mean,
I
you can.
will. I
Okay.
will.
Judy Greer is, I associate her most with the most recent Halloween movies that came out from David Gordon Green.
I
She
know
was
her.
Jamie Lee Curtis's daughter.
She was in 27 Dresses, one of my favorite movies ever.
Perfect. Now,
Also, the star of the best Christmas pageant ever. If you want to see a Judy Greer movie this year,
And 13 going on 30, sorry.
she wears a Christmas sweater during the Halloween movies. Okay. Judy Greer says she passed on an audition for the role of Claire Dunphy on Modern Family, adding that she was really torn about it. Can you imagine Judy Greer in that role and it working as well as what we got in the
No.
original Modern Family run?
No, because I love Modern Family, and Claire is perfect for that. Like, she is, like, just annoying enough at times, but then, like, she's so realistic as a mom, wife, daughter of Jay, and stepdaughter to Gloria, but she's older than her. Like, she's perfect. I don't think that we would have gotten that same energy from Judy Greer. I feel like it would have been a little too goofy.
Yeah, so you ended up it was Julie Bowen
Yep.
who played Claire.
She was in Happy Gilmore, right?
That
Or
is
am I thinking of someone else?
she was definitely in Hubie Halloween. I believe she was definitely in Hubie Halloween. I don't remember if she was in Happy Gilmore or not. I don't remember who played the love interest in Happy Gilmore, but I know that she was maybe reunited with Adam Sandler in Hubie Halloween, which is a movie that
Yep,
I do not like.
she was in Happy Gilmore.
Explains why she was in Hubie Halloween then, because it's just about getting the friends together. But Julie Bowen won a bunch of awards and really perfected that character. And everyone, you want to talk about a show with near perfect casting. I mean,
Uh,
even the kids,
yeah.
like, I think they did just a fantastic job casting that ensemble, which there really isn't a character in Modern Family that isn't fascinating in some way. When the story shifts from
Yeah.
one side of the family to the other or one character or the other, I feel like everybody kind of holds their own weight.
I feel like even, like, the side characters, like Pepper of, like, Mitch and Cam,
Mhm.
but then, like, Claire and Mitch's, like, biological mom, Dee Dee, like,
Right.
everyone and, what's his name? Haley's boyfriend? Uh,
Brian Pavlik?
no, 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 the other one, the other one.
Oh,
Uh,
my daughter is convinced that Brian Pavlik stars in Modern Family,
Oh yeah, you told me about
but I
this. I
as
was
the
very
nanny.
confused at first.
The nanny. He's the male nanny.
no. Is that the case?
Yes.
Okay, that is the case.
Yes.
But what's his name in the
Uh,
show? I don't know. I'll look it up.
yeah,
You
look it
keep
up, look it
talking,
up.
AG.
No, but also look up Haley's
Andy. Yeah, yeah.
Andy, but then what is her first boyfriend?
I don't remember.
I can't
EG,
think of
you're
it.
the super
I
fan
know, I
of
know.
Modern Family, and
He's
I'm
so
sure it's going to affect you tremendously.
Dylan. Dylan.
Okay. Um, I think that's going to do it for us here. Maybe one headline too many. I don't know. Maybe not.
No.
No, you think it was good?
That whole little moment?
Yeah, you got Dylan, but you hit yourself on the microphone
Yeah,
very
I did.
painfully.
I
So
did.
I don't want a literal meltdown happening here.
No,
Final
no.
chat check in for the day. What we got, Tyler?
Oh, we got Sabier saying that EG can't go after me for scrimps when she says Reese's. I agree, but she can do as she pleases.
Scrimps?
Yes.
I mean, it's not
It's not
right. It's
it's
not
No,
not,
I
correct.
never said it was correct.
but it it's more
There's
phonetic
there's too
in
many people throwing
Reese's and
dynamite around here.
All
Reese's.
right, all right. He also thinks we're
Scrimps.
disrespecting physical media. No,
What are you gonna
never.
do with a bunch of DVDs from Redbox? But you're gonna get arrested for theft. But
Stop
congrats, you have some
stop them from
DVDs.
taking away our movies. You can buy as many digital movies as you want, but they don't exist. You're just renting imaginary licenses that can be taken away at any point. I like
Don't
owning my
steal
things.
them.
I like owning my things. You're not stealing them, you're buying them and
Not paying for them.
well, it's not my fault if nobody collects the money.
Why don't you try this experiment out, Tyler, and report back? Let
Yeah.
us know.
I will. I'll put it on the shorts page.
Okay.
Oh Lord,
Sounds
now
good.
this will go great in court.
Yeah. Well, I just want to say that our hands are clean here. But Tyler, if you do have like an Oppenheimer in 4K, I'll take it. Okay. Jones in a little bit.
Yeah. Well,
All right.
that can be arranged.
Here's what we're going to do. We're going to thank everybody who's tuned in. Tyler, I don't know if you have any final thoughts here. I know there's a lot of people in there with strong opinions today, and we always appreciate our loyal Meltdonians that are here filling in the chat.
We do. Especially Jeff, who's backing me up on calling them scrimps. He says that's what Bubba Gump calls them. True.
Okay.
I'm gonna digress from.
I don't think EG is in the mood for seafood anytime soon after
No.
today's conversation. That's going to do it for us here on the Meltdown. We want to thank each and every one of you that make us a part of your day as we broadcast live from the Culver studio. We want to remind you about our title sponsor. That's MyBookie, where you can bet on anything, anywhere, anytime. There with mybookie.ag. Make sure you use that promo code next round. They've got the live casino action there for you. A lot of fun to be had. You can play blackjack and you can cash out and win or let it ride there with mybookie.ag. Bet and play absolutely anything, anytime, anywhere, only with MyBookie. We'll see you again tomorrow, 2 o'clock Central, 3 o'clock Eastern. We appreciate that thumbs up. Make sure you check out our must-see December movies, also up on the channel right here, Meltdown 247.